everyone. Oh, and we just lost our friend, Laura. We had her just a second ago. Her screen is now blacked out. Hopefully it's a momentary thing. We are here today with Laura Bassen to do the interview for the retreat. And okay, her camera keeps going off and on. While that's happening, while she's getting adjusted there, we'll go ahead and I am going to go over. Oh, there she is. Yay! I will go over what you actually get in this phenomenal kit. Oh, I see Hank's given lovies. Okay, so what do you get in this kit? This kit has a value of over $800. So right now, the kit is $250. However, as Altenew always does, they want to give a discount code to give a even better value to what you're already getting. So through Wednesday, through 2:15, if seats are available, because we're getting down to the final numbers here, guys, there's a code GARDEN25, and that will take $25 off your retreat kit. So it will be $225. And another tip, if you're ordering the retreat, anything you order with it will ship with the kit at the end of April. So make sure if you want certain supplies now, you do 2 different orders when getting that kit. So in the kit, you get 6 workshops, an all-day pass. You get the retreat kit. So the all-day pass is over $600. The exclusive retreat kit is over $250. The PDFs say valued at $20, but these are gorgeous colors, step-by-step PDFs. So definitely over $20. And so that puts us at about $850 for the total value. Plus, the leadership team's going to be there for some Q&A, and you have access to these recordings forever. So if you can't be there that day for one class, no worries. This is on Saturday, May 13th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The following week, when Monday through Wednesday, somewhere in there, the videos will be uploaded to Altenew Academy, and they're yours. They're yours forever. You can pause them. You can go back in a few months and rewatch them. Totally up to you. Now, what do you get in this exclusive retreat kit? You get the Secret Garden layering stencil, which is a 7-in-1 stencil, the die set for that, streamlined 6x8 stamp set, the streamlined die set, streamlined 3D embossing folder, bold blooms die set, tiled blooms 3D embossing folder, enamel florets, exclusive fresh dye inks, a set of 6 round ink pads, A2 card bases, you get 12 sheets, mini blending brush set, a detailed blending brush set, and a stamp conditioning eraser to make sure you get beautiful, beautiful impressions every time you stamp. So with that, now that you guys know kind of what we're talking about here today, let's head on over and welcome Laura. Thank you so much for making time to join us today.
Hi, thank you for...
And tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into crafting? And we know about Hank, so
Yeah.
we know a little.
Yeah, well, a lot of people call me Laura Fedora. That's the name of my blog. And that was a childhood nickname they gave me when I was really little, kind of stuck. And so I thought, Laura Fedora. A lot of people call me, and I live here in Illinois. I'm a wife and I have 5 children. A lot of them are gone. This plays hockey in Germany, and my next daughter is studying abroad in Florence. And then the next daughter is Bailey, who's in Germany as well studying hockey. And then my youngest Emma is here in junior high. And then of course Hank the Tank. So we keep busy. And how did I get into Crafty? I studied graphic design in college, and one time I went to a stamp when I got hooked on cards. But I like all crafts, like painting, all the things. Anything that's a Hobby Lobby, I'll do it.
Anything under the crafting umbrella, and you're like, let's go. Let's just, because you never know what you're going to like until you kind of, experiment with other crafting and such. So, and you have lots of wonderful places to go visit your children. That's Germany and Italy. Those are very nice.
I know. And my oldest daughter's studying graphic design. And so I can imagine that she is just like artistic air over there. It's
That's got to be cool to have one of your kids go into the same thing you did. That's got to be very cool.
Yeah, she helps me because these young kids, they're real techie. So she helps me all the time with social media. They know all the things, and I don't know anything. I just make cards, stuff. Yeah.
I just make pretty things. That's it.
Yeah.
So you've seen the kit. You know what's in there. What was the first thing that you're like, oh my God, I have to create with this?
The layering stencil. I love ink blending anytime I can, and also Altenew ink colors. So I thought with the layering stencil, it's going to be, yeah.
That I have to admit, that was my first. I was like, oh, love. Like, I almost don't know if I saw anything after it the first time I looked through it. Like, that was it. I was preoccupied. But I had to look again, and then I was like, oh, geometrics. Now I'm in love with this. So it's Now, do you have? Oh, sorry.
In the kit, I was just saying there's in the kit like florals, geometrics, and so many different way to do different techniques with the embossing folder and dies and stencils.
And I think we've talked about it before with some of the other instructors. This is one of those kits. You could just keep this on your desk for months and have so many varied ideas, so many varied techniques, so many different outcomes that you could have with this one kit. It's got a little bit of everything. Like it could just stay with you for quite a while, and you would not create the same thing twice. You could get such varied looks.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
can you hear me okay? That my sound
it's catching a little bit. It happened after it was okay, and then your screen blacked out, and now it's catching a little bit.
Is it on?
Yes. Okay, let's try that. Let's see there.
Okay.
What other, I know we love all the hobbies, but if you had a second that comes to paper crafting, card making, what would your next favorite hobby be?
Yeah.
Oh, what was I missed it. Hitched.
Can you hear me now?
It keeps going in and out now. Yeah, I think that made it worse. Yes.
How's that?
Okay, let's try that. If not, we can try having you log off and log back on and see if that fixes the. So what was your next favorite hobby?
Probably painting. When I was in college, I did a little bit of oil painting, so probably painting.
It's still skipping a bit. Do you want to try logging off and logging back in? It would be the same link. Do you want to try that?
I can try it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So again, let's go over what's in the kit. We'll go in what's in the kit one more time until Laura comes back in. So you are going to get, of course, the 6 workshops all through the day, yours to keep forever. PDFs are yours to keep forever. You're going to get that secret garden, layering stencil, and die. And Laura's back, so we'll see how hopefully this will fix our issue.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay. Perfect. Yay.
Okay, good.
Now, where do you find your inspiration?
Well, usually, honestly, I find the inspiration from the product itself. Like I look at whatever I'm working with and the ideas come from that. But when I'm lost on Mojo, I usually go to Instagram and I look at what other people are making, and that inspires me, seeing what other card makers are making. And then if that doesn't work, I'll go to Pinterest. But Pinterest is like a black hole. You never come out. But there's some amazing inspiration. Like a lot of times, this is crazy, but I find inspiration from quilt making.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So that inspires me, quilts, especially like geometric and stuff like that. I love it. Oh, good. I'm glad everybody says the sound is better.
Yes, it's much better. Yes.
Okay, good.
And you can kind of see that now where there are some things coming out, like Alta New has the quilt block stencil and
Yeah.
they have the fabric. So you can kind of see where hobbies are kind of joining together and giving each other a big hug, and it's all working out beautifully, where
Yeah.
we're mixing and mingling these coming forward. So it's wonderful to put two of your passions together as opposed to one of your passions. It's
Yeah.
very, very exciting to be able to do that. And so if you're in I know you mentioned a little bit, if you're in a crafty rut, how do you get that mojo going when it done gone up and went? How do you get it going again?
Well, okay, so this is definitely a full-time job for me. And I guess I feel like crafting and like any type of artistic, when you do it as a job, it's almost like you strengthen those muscles a little bit. And so I've been able to like somehow do creativity on demand, because when you have a
Yeah.
deadline and you got to do it and you strain, and it feels like the more you do that, the more you can do that. It's like
Yes.
ideas come. But if I step away for, like, if I went on a vacation for a week and I came back, it's hard to get back into that groove of just like, I don't know. It's kind of like riding a bike. You have to get on the bike and then the wheels start turning. And once you get in that zone, but if I can't, if I'm stumped, which I got to say, rarely I'm stumped, because usually when I look at a stamp set or a stencil set, you can find something. But yeah, sometimes you got to take a break and eat some chocolate, come back.
Unless you're
But
Carissa and then it's tacos.
tacos, I'll take tacos. Yeah.
I think most of us are like, okay, tacos or chocolate. That's fine.
Yeah.
Chocolate
French
tacos.
fries. I'll
There's a
never turn down a French
taco out
fry.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do you have like a go-to technique that never, like, if you're struggling and you're like, it just doesn't look right to me, do you have a technique you always go to?
Not necessarily. It really depends on the product. I mean, I do love the ink blend. That's my favorite. But if so, I feel like this might be biased, but when I do, like, I call it stripping up. Like when you trim little strips of solid color cardstock. I feel like if you ever just can't make something look good and you add some like rainbow strips in the background, somehow it makes it look better. Like if you can't
Yes.
make it, if you just can't make it work, add some rainbow strips in the background. It'll save you every time. I swear. Yeah.
As we were talking about rainbows, hashtag rainbows, like
Yeah.
it just is. It makes it just it's so sunny and bright and just beautiful. It just
Yeah.
rainbows are always the answer, I think.
I know. I
I
agree.
don't
I know some people, I've heard around the way, some people are tired of rainbows, but it doesn't bother me because I couldn't stop doing it. Even if I tried to stop doing it, I would even gravitate towards it. I just do. It's just who I am. Yeah.
I try to cycle away sometimes, but
Yeah.
then it's kind of like a boomerang. You come right
Yeah.
back to it, which
Exactly.
is wonderful because,
Yeah.
yeah, it just, yes. So, do you have a crafty mantra? Anything that kind of keeps you going that you tell yourself?
Not really. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so I think a lot of it's just confidence, believing in yourself that you can. Because if you lose your confidence, you kind of lose everything. But you got to believe in yourself and trust your style, which takes a long time to find. And when you find that style and you feel comfortable and you know it works, it becomes kind of like a recipe. And you fall back on those things that you know that work, and you have confidence in that. And yeah, I guess it just comes from experience.
So, what would you have for advice for beginners in building up the confidence so they have that in their toolkit?
Yeah. Oh, time, patience, and time. It takes a long time, because when I first started card making, I would look at other card makers and I would copy what they would do. And that's what I did. I found my favorite card makers and I copied what they do. And then I would try to do my own thing, but I think in my mind, what would they do? And I tried to be like them. And then as time went on, you begin to stand on your own 2 feet and you're not trying to be like anybody else. You found yourself.
Yeah.
And that just takes time. It's just time. I mean, when I was in college and I was doing painting, I remember my professor called me in and he was like, "You haven't found yourself. You have not found yourself. When I look at a painting, I don't know if it's yours or if it's Joe's or Sally's. I mean, I want to be able to look at a painting and go, oh, that was Laura." And he goes, and you haven't found that yet. And it's going to take a lot of time to do it over and over and over until you find it. I never really did find that in painting, but I have found that in card making.
Well, the good news is that you have plenty of time to find
Yeah.
your painter soul and spirit as well. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we have those beautiful gouache now, so maybe
Oh.
the inner gouache painter could find so because we would love to see everything you make. So as you know,
Have you tried the gouache?
I just swatching them out because
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'm gonna do it on this date, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe I'll swatch, and then so
Is
I
it
need to
like
watch more videos.
is it like really opaque, or do you water it down?
I used the full bore, like just out
Okay.
swatched it out. I didn't want to do anything to it, so I knew when I looked back at those that this was the at its core. This is what
Okay.
it is. And
Yeah.
then I probably will the next time I think I'm going to use them. I probably will go back and put them with water so I
Okay.
can see what they look like there.
Yeah.
It's a few step process because
Yeah.
it's a new medium. So
Yeah.
it's and everybody gets scared with new mediums, because
Yeah.
you feel very confident with paper, but then you
Right.
move over and build it up. So
It's intimidating. Have you ever done the no line watercoloring?
yes, I do enjoy that.
I'm intimidated by that, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's for me, I when I have a day where I have really not much going
Yeah.
on, that is your advice is perfect time. You
Yeah.
have to be patient with yourself, and that takes a lot of time because you
Yeah.
can't just throw the color in there. You have to
Yeah.
work carefully and slowly. And that's labor of love. But
Yeah.
when it's done, oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
with the also new coloring books that have the watercolor books, they have the no line version in there as well as the lined.
Mhm.
So I always tell people start with the lined version first, color it the way you would like it, and then you have a guide with your hand, your look, your everything to try the no line version. So that's how I recommend if you want to start the no line. That's how I recommend doing it. That
Yeah.
way, you have your seal on it as well. So
Mhm.
now this seems like a silly question considering what we were just talking about and what's behind you. But do you have, besides rainbow, do you have other color combos that you love to go to?
I mean, I'll sway on any end of the spectrum, but I like to work, like, say if I was going to do blues, I would add a little green, little teal, little blue violet. I love to just sway within the spectrum, but choose the colors around. If I was going to do red, I do some pink and then some red, some coral, maybe orange. So I can go anywhere in there, but a little bit on the sides, and I'm happy. Yeah.
Do you have a tool right now that is your favorite thing in the world that you cannot live without?
My most favorite tool would be my Teflon bone folder. Yeah. It sounds crazy, but if I can't find that, I have like a mini panic attack.
Yep.
I have to have it to crease my cards, and I just use it every single card I make. Yeah.
It has so many good uses too. Like
Yeah.
that is a good tool to invest in, and have throughout your crafty career because it lasts you forever. But it's nice to have a good one, not
Yeah.
one that's going to bend on you or
Yeah.
leave creases in your cardstock. Because
Yeah.
we've all been there when we've had bone folders leave creases in our
Yeah.
cardstock. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Is there a current trend that you're really loving in crafting?
A current trend. I'm not sure. What's the trends right now? What are the
There's
trends?
I mean, I would say that I think we're in a clean and simple kind of trendy. I feel
Love
it's
that.
a little clean and simple right now.
Okay.
We kind of cycle through where we see a lot more mixed media, but as I look at the cards from all the amazing hops, a lot of them I'm seeing are like a clean and simple kind of feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the trends. Other trends, not sure.
Well, I love clean and simple. I love a good clean and simple card. Yeah.
Do you do mixed media a lot
No,
or
I would say no. Not really. I mean, it's you like anything. I don't. The wet. If I would get wet, it would be like flicking some ink on a card base. I don't do a lot of wet stuff. Oh, and like pastes. I've tried it, but I don't do it very often. Any type of paste, or I like the hot foiling. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it turns out so beautiful. And then other times I'm like, I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall. I'm just like getting errors all the time. I don't know. I'm sure everyone feels that way.
And Avril raised a very good one. Hot foil is another trend that
Yeah.
is definitely sweeping the crafty, which thank goodness, because anything shiny, love
Yeah.
shiny.
Yeah. Yes.
So have you gotten caught up in the hot foiling as well?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I have all the different colors of foils, but like I say, sometimes I foil and I feel so good about myself. And then other times I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It won't foil right. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I do the
Yeah.
same thing, but I find, I don't know, certain companies foil plates foil better than others. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like when we first learned embossing, heat embossing, it's that magic when you peel that foil up, you're like, oh.
Yes.
And as adults, we don't get a lot of magic. So
Yeah.
having that magic is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Audrey just mentioned, Audrey, we didn't even know this was going to happen. We didn't know this was going to be Laura's favorite tool. Altenews Bone Folder is 50% off today. Audrey has let us know in the comments. How cool is that? That's very, very cool. And yes, 3D embossing folders are making their way onto the scene. They definitely, back in the day, way back, because I've been doing this for 30 years, way back in the day, we used to have 3D embossing folders.
Yep.
But I don't know. They seem different now. They seem like elevated.
Mm-hmm.
3D embossing elevated, but we now have stencils and we have hot foil plates and we have all the things to mix in with them.
Yeah.
And the stencils with those are a game changer. So it's very, very exciting. But yeah, see, we just needed to ask the crowd. They can give us Laura and I are like, I don't know.
Well, I just did a card for an upcoming release with Altenew, and I was blown away it was a stamp set, a die set, a stencil set, and an embossing folder, and they all coordinated together. And I was about to die. I couldn't believe all the, like an embossing folder that coordinates with a stamp set. That was new for me. I was like, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And we have the Craft Your Life kit, which is a subscription through Altenew, that every month you get the stamp, the die, the stencil, and stamp, die, embossing folder. I'm like, what did I leave out? You get all of those each month. And a lot of times the stencils, sometimes they don't match perfectly, but they match up. And that's the one I always recommend when folks are like, which kit should I get? And it's that one, because it's so versatile. You have so many different items in there.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you maintain consistency in sharing all of your beautiful projects?
Well, I have my little photo, little area here, and you know what? I feel like I need to switch it up. But it's been the same. Like I have the same pattern paper, the same little prop flowers, and it's always looks the same. And I like it, and it works, and it's easy, and I just, but I feel like I need something new for myself. Like I need like a fresh photo backdrop. But I feel like the photo backdrop and everything helps your photos to look consistent, and finding what style photography that works for you and what you like and what accentuates the card. And everybody has a different preference on that. I know some people really like a card to be just the card, nothing around it, very bare. And then other people like to have all the props and the things around it. And I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't know, but I feel like my photo prop scene has been the same for 10 years. I need something new.
So they heard it here first. There may be a change coming in Laura's photos. So you guys are learning secret information today.
Yeah.
And now because you talked about deadlines and things like that, are you a super organized person, or are you more the procrastinators unite kind of gal?
Nailed it. Yeah, I'm terrible procrastinator and very unorganized. And that if I showed you what's around this camera, you would die. But I don't know if you saw Christina Werner's video the other day about how she wants to get organized, her craft room. it made me feel so good. I'm like, yes. Yes, I feel you. Yeah, and I'm amazed. Like, I thought with her beautiful custom craft room that it
Yep.
must just be like a paradise. And then when I saw the mess, I'm like, okay, all right, I don't feel so bad. But yeah, I'm very unorganized and I'm a terrible procrastinator. When something's due, I work the day before. I don't
Or the day of.
or the day of. And that's like seems like when I do the best. If I did it
Yes.
early, I would change my mind and then I got to redo it. So
I'm the same. I need that pressure. I need to know that date's looming and the creativity is like flying
yeah,
out. Otherwise,
exactly.
it's like in mud and it's like not moving. And I'm like, come on, creativity, come on.
I know. I can't work ahead. These people that I have some friends and they're like, they work weeks ahead. And I'm like, who are you? How? How? I could never do it. But I would like to be organized. That would help me. I mean, it's a disaster. Yeah.
So do you have any like organization process in your room that is like a backbone that just kind of hasn't stuck yet? Or do you not have a process at all yet?
I think my biggest problem is overflow. I just have
Yeah.
so much coming in and I don't have room to store. I just have too much coming in all the time. But I keep bins by brand. So I have a bin for Alta New, I have a bin for Simon's to Stamp, a bin for Concord Ninth, and I keep all them by brand. I don't organize like by animal or season or anything like that, but I do keep a bin by brand. But it's just constantly coming in and I have overflow. I have boxes all along the perimeter, just overflow of new releases. Yeah.
Please don't trip. So when you said boxes around the perimeter, I'm like, oh, don't hurt yourself. Because I may or may not have done that before and
Yeah.
fallen into a door. Yeah. But I, in theory, have a goal.
Yeah.
But the crafting is always like, psst, blending brushes here. Come on, let's
Yeah.
craft. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's like, should I organize? Or, oh, look, there's a new stamp set, so.
You look organized though behind you. Looks like it's organized.
It was the same like when Jennifer McGuire said, "What you see behind me is very organized." If you saw the
Yeah.
other 90 degrees, it would be. I would not want you to know my name. I would want to be
Yeah.
anonymous because it's just a little. It's a little rough. It's a little
Yeah.
rough. Piles of cards that were made, and need homes and
Yeah.
all of that. So now, what do you do with your cards once you make them? Do you actually send cards out?
I do send cards, not as much as I should. I do try to send cards. That's one thing this year because I always used to sing Dimension is Life. And I love Dimension. I love to pop up a card. But then when I go to the post office and it doesn't fit through the slot,
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I think it's time to rein in the dimension. If I really want to send these cards, I mean, you gotta can't have 4 layers. But my niece came at Christmas time and she took a whole box of cards. So family's always like, you got any cards? And people take them. And as they're putting them in the box, I'm like, good luck mailing that one.
Don't call me when you go to the post office. I already know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have a project that is your most memorable? And why is it your most memorable?
I don't know if I have a project that's my most memorable, but I remember years ago when they had Paper Crafts magazine, it was one of my first cards ever made it on the cover. And my husband framed the cover of the magazine.
Oh.
So I have that, stuff like that. I don't know if I have anything that's I'm not super sentimental. I just make it, toss it, make it, toss it. I don't look back really. I'm just always moving forward. So yeah.
We did have Avril posted send cards ? Huh? So,
yeah.
I think it's a and Cynthia can relate to being a disorganized procrastinator with us. She said, I wish I wasn't, but ... So yes, there's a lot of us out there. I think we lurk in the shadows of pretty things behind us that look organized. So
yeah, exactly. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yes. We show you the best parts of it, and then Let's go over one more time what's in the retreat. I have one final question for Laura, and then hopefully you guys will head on over and get signed up if you're not already. So again, today it's $250. There is a code through the 15th for 25 off, Garden 25. And don't worry if you don't have a pen, this is right on the website. If there are spots, and this is a big italicized, bold, capital, everything, if there are spots, it's going to go up to $275 after 215. So starting the morning of 216, it's going to be $275 if spots are available. So you get 6 workshops. These are 90-minute workshops. You have 90 minutes with an instructor, half an hour off, and then we start right up again. Same process from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You'll be able to speak with, ask questions to the Altenew leadership team. Unlimited access to these recordings anywhere, anytime. They're yours. And then there are giveaways too after each workshop, and you can win up to $500 in prizes during that day. So in your exclusive kit, we have the Secret Garden layering stencil, which is a 7-in-1, a Secret Garden die set, which Jennifer pointed out is actually the graphic on the Altenew website, so you can kind of get a sneak peek. The streamlined 6x8 stamp set, streamlined die set, streamlined 3D embossing folder, the bold blooms die set, tiled blooms die set, 3D embossing folder. I'm sorry, I looked at 2 lines. Tiled blooms 3D embossing folder, enamel florets, exclusive fresh dye inks, a set of 6 rounding pads. You get A2 card bases, 12 sheets in the set, mini blending brush set, detailed blending brush set, and the stamp conditioning eraser set, which that changed my stamping. I have to say, that stamp conditioning eraser, it makes your stamps ready to grab onto that ink and stamp a beautiful image. Those just absolutely wonderful. So the final question I have for Laura, and it's a doozy. I have to save, the one that makes the thoughts go till the end. So let us know, is there a fun, weird, or interesting fact about you that folks don't already know?
Well, some people might know this about me, that I studied music as well as graphic design, and I played the trombone for about 10 years. And and I go to my kids' sporting events all the time. Just the other day, I was at my daughter's volleyball, and when they do the national anthem, it's all I can listen to is the trombone part. Like whenever I hear music, I hear all the parts. Even on the radio, I hear the harmonies and the parts. I'll hear the bass guitar, and so I can hear the trombone in anything. I think Jen would relate. She's a musical gal, and
Yes.
you can hear all the musical. That's kind of a weird thing people wouldn't know about me, that I'm secretly listening to the trombone.
I can relate. I did the bass drum. The bass drum was mine. I always
that's
listened to the bass drum. I couldn't do the regular with the drumsticks, no, because my hands can't work together. Until I had shoulder surgery, this was just decorative. So I I could only do the bass drum because I could use my dominant hand and do that. So, but I do as well. So another thing we have in common, we
Yeah.
are separating out the band for our instrument out of all of it.
Yeah. By the way, did you watch the Super Bowl? I don't know if you saw.
I did. I
Chris
did not watch.
Stapleton. Chris Stapleton sang the national anthem, and it was amazing.
I heard some people were watching it just for that. Like some
Oh.
some of my coworkers were like, "I'm watching it just for that. I'm so excited." So yeah, because I was like, "Oh, he's doing the half show, isn't he?" And they're like, "No, no, no," and they're like, "It's just the anthem." But I'm listening. I'm watching just for that because a lot of Chris Stapleton fans around me.
So
he's
nice. Amazing. He's amazing.
Yes, there are a lot of amazing musicians out there, and that keeps us busy when we're crafting too. Gives us good mojo to craft too, and maybe dance too awkwardly.
Yeah.
So, with my true confession now over. Thank you so much for Laura and Hank, because Hank has been with us as well today. So thank Hank for his appearance as well, Laura. It was lovely to have a chat. And before you know it, we'll have those blending brushes in hand and doing the retreat. May sounds forever away, but you guys, I promise you'll blink and it will be here, and we're going to have so much crafty fun. So make sure, if you haven't already, head on over and check out the retreat and secure your spot to spend the day crafting away. Thank you from all of us here at Altenew for allowing us to help you craft your lives, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye, everyone.